rare and balanced view on politics in today's world. Based on facts, born of rationality, common sense, and logic, providing context on today's events. This is American Perspective with Rick Thomas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Perspective. I am your host, Rick. Just as expected, the weekend and the sporting events were, as un-American as what you would expect, at least from many. Not all, but many. And I don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, especially, from the Olympics. I mean, I understand from the Olympics. I don't understand from the Olympics perspective. And I'll get into that here in just a few minutes. But yeah, anyway. All right, let's go ahead and get things kicked off. Tonight, I'm glad it's one of our favorites. One of the favorites. Yeah. Anyway. My chat's got a bunch of people in there who can actually write Spanish. They are writing Spanish in the chat. All right, well, I'm not going to be able to read it. But anyway, let's move on. All right, tonight we have up for the Pledge of Allegiance none other than Coco, Cam, and Sean for tonight's Pledge of Allegiance. So if you are of mind, please stand, remove your hat if you're wearing one like me. Place your hand over your heart and follow along with Coco, Cam, and Sean as they recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And, of course, I thank you, Coco, Cam, and Sean, for that wonderful rendition of the pledge. If you would like to hear your rendition of the pledge played here on the program, all you need to do is record yourself reciting or performing the pledge in your style. Take that audio file, video file, whatever kind of file, attach it to an email, and send that email off to me. Send it to fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. That's fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online, and I will get you into the rotation. I am looking for 26 in total for 2026. I have 21 as of right now, so I just need 5 more. And if you use your phone to record it, apparently you can use the share option. That's the S-H-A-R-E, share option. Send it off to me. Send it to fans at AmericanPerspective.online. You know, that young man, Sean, has more patriotism in him, in his little pinky, than many of the people that we saw, or that, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe you didn't watch, but many of the people that were performing this weekend, whether it was athletes or elitist performers. Yeah. Anyway. More comments on that coming in just a minute, but first, I'm wearing their one of their wonderful shirts. All you need to do is head on over to theflagshirt.com, and you can check out all of their wonderful styles. That's right. At theflagshirt.com, they have men's, women's, kids, made in the USA. They've got all kinds of accessories in the red, white, and blue. Not to mention, this is America's 250th anniversary. And you should definitely go and check out some of their stuff. Get yourself something 250th. Get something to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this great country that we call home. And if you order $75 or more of their product, they will provide you with free shipping. That's right, $75 or more of their product, they will provide you with free shipping. But I know not everyone is going to be able to do the free shipping or, order $75 or more of the product all at once. So I'm going to help you out. If you go to flagshirt.americanperspective.online, that's flagshirt.americanperspective.online, you will be presented with a coupon code that you can copy and paste into the promo code box at checkout at theflagshirt.com. And you'll be given $5 off your order. Go to flagshirt.americanperspective.online, copy and paste the coupon code into the promo code box at checkout at theflagshirt.com and get $5 off on American Perspective. Go to theflagshirt.com and get yourself patriotized. I guarantee you that none of the Bad Bunny crew or any of the Olympics people that were disparaging to our country will do that. They won't go to theflagshirt.com because they are, well, let's just say morons. Yeah. Anyway, well, I did not watch the Bad Bunny show. I watched I watched the TPUSA demonstration, halftime show. Now, a lot of people are sitting there, and by a lot of people, I mean most of the left are sitting there. They're kind of laughing. Okay. They're kind of laughing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I did, because Mrs. Whiskey is, kind of a sports fan. I got to tell you, she's more of a sports fan than I am. But because she is a sports fan, she wanted to watch the game, which of course included the Seattle Seahawks against the New England Patriots. And so we did watch the game. And I got to tell you, for a normal, this really was a lackluster year. I mean, oh my God. We only saw like 2 commercials that really stood out in our mind. Of all the commercials that we did see, we only saw 2 that really stood out. One was, of course, the Budweiser commercial. That one is always a favorite in this house. I don't think I've ever seen a Budweiser commercial on the Super Bowl that hasn't been cool. But the other one had to deal with the Alexa and I forget, I'm dropping his name, Chris Hemsworth and his wife. So yeah. Anyway, that one was with the Alexa. That one was really cool. They were, of course, showcasing the new Alexa, which, by the way, the new Alexa, if you go to try and play something on Live 365, yeah, it was it's interesting. I got to figure out, I've got to get it locked down before I can tell you all what the difference was. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, there's some great. I mean, as far as Budweiser is concerned, other than the fact that it really, I mean, I'm not a fan of their beer. I'm really not. But they've always had really fantastic commercials during the Super Bowl. You had the Budweiser frogs. You had the Clydesdales and many of the football things. You had the one and only time that the commercial for 9/11 had ever aired was during the Super Bowl commercial. That one, it definitely tops my list. And we're talking about, one thing that's amazing out of those guys were were essentially all of the Budweiser commercials for the most part have been, relatively respectful, especially to America. And yet this year, didn't see any of that. Didn't see any there were a couple of completely obvious AI commercials. It was just, I called them out immediately. I'm like, wow, this is AI. What the hell? So pretty soon we're going to be in an AI world. I'm just going to tell you right now, because to make the commercial will be a lot less expensive than it is to actually, do it. And one of the AI commercials that they had, they used, I don't know, like so many AI representations of like old actors and stuff. I don't know what the heck they were doing, but whatever. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to the halftime show. I did not see the Bad Bunny halftime show, but apparently, according to my daughter, who did watch it because she had kind of no other choice, Bad Bunny was absolutely bad. He lived up to his name, Bad Bunny. Very bad. Apparently now keep in mind, okay, I don't have a problem with the fact that Bad Bunny did the halftime show. Do I think that he was a jerk at the Golden Globes or whatever it was, or Grammys or whatever? Yeah. Do I think that he, jumped onto and has jumped onto the anti-ICE bandwagon? Yes. Do I listen to his music? Absolutely not. I mean, I'm just not into his genre of music, so I definitely didn't even know who the hell he was until all of a sudden this controversy came out. But apparently, according to my daughter, she said that the halftime show was absolutely disgusting. The audio apparently sucked. The clothing that some of the dancers and stuff were wearing, I mean, granted, Bad Bunny didn't come out in a dress like he usually does. Apparently, I wouldn't know. But apparently the dancers were kind of scantily clad, and they did a lot of like grinding and everything on each other and that kind of stuff. He did a lot of crotch grabs, which if you are older than the age of 40, you'll remember when Michael Jackson did that the very first time on national television, the crotch grab. And yeah, anyway. The one thing that a lot of these people seem to misunderstand is that the Super Bowl is literally a family-friendly event. I mean, if you'll recall, Janet Jackson had that fake wardrobe malfunction with Justin Timberlake. And, yeah. Anyway, so apparently that show, for those that really are not interested, didn't go over very well. But there were a couple of things that were demonstrative of the anti or un-American sentiment. And one of them had to deal with the fact that toward the end of the program, apparently he went around and was like calling out all kinds of nation states, nationalities, nations. He kept calling out, and then many of them outside of places like Canada, many of them were, of course, Spanish speaking. But then he basically said, we're all America. And what he's referring to is the fact that we have, North and South America. Now, I have a bit of a problem with that. Now, let me explain. Football, as it's known here in the United States, was created in the United States. Football, as it is known in the United States, I call it American hand egg, but, American football, as it's known in the United States, is 100% played in the United States. There is not one singular team, not one singular team that comes from outside of America. And by that, I mean the United States. Okay? This is an American, we call ourselves, or the champions, they call themselves champions, the world champions, but let's be honest. Football, American football, is not on par with, say, the World Cup in soccer. Well, we call it soccer. Everybody else calls it football. So to have a halftime show in America, during a sport that is 100% all-American, that is for 100% all-Americans, or those that appreciate it and follow it, to have a halftime show that is nothing but Spanish with no English subtitles. So keep in mind, there's only about 15% of Americans who actually are able to interpret what he was speaking during and singing during the entire time. And that number, by the way, according to certain statistics, is not going up. It's actually leveling off and potentially will even start dropping, because many of the Spanish speakers that come here to the United States, they've worked on assimilating, and so their children are speaking English more than they are Spanish. So let's recap. We have a American sport in an American inside America, where everything is based off of Americanism, and you have a halftime show that was decidedly un-American. Now, they tried and have tried, and the left has tried to, soften the blow by saying, oh, you should have seen the message that was on the billboard. It said, love is more powerful than hate, or something along those lines. And they try to soften it because he is 100, Bad Bunny being Puerto Rican, he is 100% American. Okay, whatever. That's not the problem. The problem is that you went through and you essentially insulted America. You insulted the people who were there. It was basically a humiliation of sorts, because you never once mentioned anything about America. Yeah. There you go. You're sitting there and you're like, okay, yeah. Anyway, the message, of course. Now, I will say, by having him not show up in a dress, I'm actually kind of amazed that didn't happen. So, anyway, yeah. Whereas you juxtapose that and that performance by the one that was put together by TPUSA. Now, that show, first of all, was in essentially what appeared to be some sort of like a hotel ballroom or something like that. Okay. And they basically set up a lineup of, several different stars, country stars mostly. But of course, it was headlined by Kid Rock. And the messages that was there that they had was, again, America, God, country, things that you would find in an American sport happening in America and nowhere else. I mean, come on, people in Japan, they're not watching the Super Bowl. They're not. And that's demonstrated, of course, because there was only like 127 million or 130 million people that watched it. I mean, that's not even like that's a little more than a third of America. And the thing about it is that people, scoffed, especially the left. They scoffed over the almost 20 million that were picked up by TPUSA. But you need to understand something. What TPUSA did has never been done before. I mean, yes, we've had the Puppy Bowl, several years in a row. And don't get me wrong, the Puppy Bowl is cute, and it's entertaining at times and that kind of stuff. And I get it. But there has never been a alternative show gone up that it went and gone up 100% against the Super Bowl. I mean, the Super Bowl is like a huge televised event here in the United States. You can pretty much tell even people who aren't sports nuts will watch the Super Bowl and will get involved in, generally speaking, will get involved with sports for just one day. And even if your team's not in it, generally speaking, you still watch it. But TPUSA did something that really should wake the NFL up somewhat. They weren't a major television production. It wasn't transmitted on television channels. Okay. It wasn't advertised like the Super Bowl is. And yet they managed to pull 20 million streaming viewers. All streaming. And that's even potentially a low estimate, because we don't know from like all of the simulcast versions that were sent out there. We don't know exactly how many people really and truly watched it, because I know that there were people that were simulcasting it. Daily Wire Plus simulcasted it. It was on YouTube, which, by the way, it's in the top 5, if not the top streamed show. It is, I believe it's not, I don't know if it's number 1 yet, but I know it's gotten up there. It was like 6 million on YouTube. And they were still counting. So this, in all of this, Rumble had, I don't know, like 6 or 7 million on its own, something like that. So all of this should be a bit of a wake-up call, not only to the stations, like the regular broadcast media stations, but it should also be a wake-up call to the NFL. That was 20 million people that could have been watching your halftime show had you not had a un-American halftime show. Now, keep in mind, I've had problems. I've had troubles. Oh, my producer, unofficial producer, just pointed out it was the number 1 American live-streamed show and number 2 worldwide on YouTube. As of right now, the TPUSA. And let me put it to you this way. It was very well done. The transitions between acts were very quick. It was a fantastic lineup. And there were, like I said, there were several times where it was about America. It was unapologetically American. Celebrated America, celebrated God, celebrated country. And that's what Americans, many Americans, want nowadays. That's what we're looking for. One of the things that I saw, and again, millions upon millions watched this thing. Millions turned in. It was all in English. It was all talented people. It was beautifully done. And it's, I mean, it was great. I loved it. But here's the one thing, and some people kind of took a bit of a, shall we say, offense to this, those that were on the left. So first of all, I just want to say there was a little bit of a controversy over the fact that Kid Rock was the headliner. And one of the things that the leftists kept bringing up was a song that Kid Rock performed and created back in 2001. We're talking 25 years ago. This is how far back they had to dig. And this song is, I think it's Cool Daddy Cool, was written specifically for a movie. It was written specifically for the Osmosis Jones animated / live action, whatever, I never watched it, movie. It wasn't something that Kid Rock did, but apparently did on a regular basis. But apparently the song, okay, the song itself had some references to underage relationships. And this is what the left glommed onto. Now, I got to tell you, there's a lot of us who can say 25 years ago, man, I was really stupid. And that was really dumb to say, or that was really stupid to do. There's a lot of us that can say that. But per the leftist lunacy, they go ahead and they dig deep into your background and they find stuff. They find stuff that they want to bring out and try and get you on. Again, it was a movie, 2001, 25 years ago. It was for a movie soundtrack. And I'm pretty sure that he's definitely not interested in doing that anymore. But let's keep in mind, too, folks, that we could do the exact same thing to all of the leftists that are out there. There is not one single person on this planet that does not have some sort of a skeleton in their closet. At all. Okay? At all. And yet, the left seems to think that this is like some sort of a big gotcha. Yeah. It's not. Anyway, the ending to the show, I felt, was very apropos. So Kid Rock did a cover of Cody Johnson's song, Till You Can't. And Kid Rock wrote a final verse, or added a verse, to the song. And that, I think, culminated the show in a very apropos situation that we're dealing with here in America today. Essentially, what he said, and I got to get, hang on just a second, because I got to get this up on my phone here. He wrote this. This is the ending of it. There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus and he'll give you a second chance. Till you can't. And a lot of the left is critical of the fact that that was Kid Rock. He was introduced, by the way, as his actual name, Richie something. I can't remember his last name. But that was just amazing to me. That was just amazing to me. And just the mere fact that he had that there. That he was willing to go out on the limb and put that out there was just absolutely amazing. Well, one of the things that the left wants to do is the left wants to try and demonstrate or show through numbers. They want to show, that TPUSA thing, it wasn't as big as what everybody says it was. Robert Ritchie. Thank you. Robert Ritchie. But I just got to show you something. Now, this is as of about a half an hour ago or so. But take a look at this. This is a TPUSA, or sorry, not TPUSA, TMZ put a tweet out. And they said, hey, who had the better halftime show, Bad Bunny or Kid Rock? Kid Rock's got him beat almost 2-1. Almost 2-1. And this is a live, on X, a live survey. It's got another hour and a minute left. 2-1. I don't think that was going quite the way that TMZ wanted it to. In fact, I'm fairly certain that it's not going the way TMZ wanted it to. Because, this is, yeah. So many people are tired of all this. They are tired of the constant badgering, the un-American comments, the un-American stances by the left and all these leftist idiots that are out there. They are tired of it. And I'm one of them. Now, look, I can understand that, the NFL, whatever. The NFL, they're going to sit there and they're going to do whatever they're going to do because they want to, put butts in the seats, fans in the stands, whatever. They're going to do whatever. I mean, they probably approved the Janet Jackson, fake wardrobe malfunction because they figured, oh my God, that's just going to, talk about, most people, I'm going to tell you, most publicists will tell you there is no bad publicity. It's all good publicity. Anything that gets your name in the papers, man, that's good. Well, there's one place that I got to tell you that if you're an American and you're asked a question, you need to learn quickly and skillfully how to avoid answering them. And that's at the Olympics. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, I want to tell you about this wonderful elixir that I drink every single morning. It's called coffee. And if you still haven't tried 1775 coffee, now is your shot. The 1775 starter kit has been available, but there's a small number of units that are there for the taking. In each unit, you're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, as well as the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. All of these coffees are single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Plus, you're also getting my personal favorite, the Gold Spoon Clip, because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. You'll be receiving a frother that is strong enough to stir up not only your coffee, but also your mother-in-law's opinions. Let's face it, she's got a lot of those. Also, you'll be receiving a black 1775 tumbler. It's $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for just $99. This is for the ones who have been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble and wondering if it's actually worth it. Well, spoiler alert, it is. Go to the numbers 1775, the word coffee, all of that all together. So 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they are gone. That's 1775coffee.com / which is your question mark key, studio, STUDIO. Grab your starter kit before they disappear. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit today. All right. Well, I would like to hopefully make everybody remember something. Because in terms of the Olympics, all I got to say is that, well, my sentiments are wrapped up in one 14-second clip from a great, great movie. And let's go ahead and listen to this.
When you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Get that through your head. Again.
That's it, right there. And what that is, for those of you who may not be on the video portion, that was a clip, a 14-second clip from the movie Miracle. See, this is incredibly embarrassing, and I'm just going to say this. You know, as an American, and especially as an amateur athlete going to the Olympics, the greatest event of anyone's career, the greatest event of anyone's career is to go to the Olympics and represent your country on the world stage and to perform against others on the world stage. And that clip demonstrates it all. The name on the front, which is USA, is a hell of a lot more important than your name on the back of the jersey. You represent the country. You represent yourself, but you represent your team. You represent everything that is supposed to be good in the world. And when you're asked a question by a dumbass reporter who basically asks you something about, well, how proud are you of the United States of America, given all that's going on today? Well, plain and simple, this is how you answer. This is how you answer. You essentially say, I'm here to represent my country in X sporting event. My political perceptions or my social perceptions mean nothing here. I am here to perform on the field, in the snow, on, whatever it is. That's all you have to say. Whether you agree with what's going on or not makes no difference. Your purpose in life, being an amateur sport individual representing your country, is to do exactly that. Represent your country. And to sit here and think that you have, just because you happen to have the mic at that point in time, that it is not only appropriate, but applicable for you to put your views in front of the world is utterly asinine and disrespectful. If you don't like your country, folks, let me just put it to you like this. If you don't like the country, get the F out. You don't have a responsibility to stay here. You're not tied here. You can leave at any time. You have the ability, just as much as somebody else has the ability to come here to the United States. You have the ability to leave. And if you hate your country that much, you never should have put on the jersey. You never should have been wearing the flag. You don't like the country, get out. And especially if you're sitting here and representing your country and saying stuff like, well, I have mixed emotions about representing my country here. I have mixed emotions. Why? Why would you have mixed emotions? Why would you have mixed emotions? Your emotion should be, hey, man, I'm here representing the United States of America in my sport. I am the top athlete or one of the top athletes in my sport in America. I am proud to be here. I worked hard to get here. And I'm just going to enjoy this time. And I'm hoping and praying that I'm going to be able to excel in my sport here on the world stage. But no, these assholes, and yes, I am calling them this, these assholes are sitting here and they're making this into some sort of a political or social justice statement. Just like all of the other elitist I don't even know what to call them, that are in like the Super Bowl halftime show or any of these other places. Okay. Folks, you don't seem to get it. You really don't. And this is why I call them utter stupid, complete morons, utter stupid morons, because they just don't get it. You have a privilege just by being born here in the United States. You have a privilege. You have a privilege to be born within the borders and to call yourself an American. And whether you disagree with the politics that are going on, you know, whatever the in vogue du jour kind of thing is going on here in America, you still are way above just about everybody else in the world. Just because you are here. Folks, this, I can't even, I honestly, I can't even imagine why anybody would sit here and expect that they are going to be able to go on the world stage and disparage the country that you were so privileged to be here. Bad Bunny is privileged. He was working in the freaking cane fields, from what I understand, before he was discovered. And now he's some multimillionaire. You know, every single one of these people, every single one of these elitist morons, all owe the country and God far more than they could ever imagine. Every single one. You even have people like George Lopez, who sits there and disparages, or what's that other guy? God, I can't think of his name. He's played John Leguizamo. There we go. I knew it took a minute for my brain to catch up. But you have these guys, they've made millions off of the backs of the American people, the American economy, the American dollar. They live in multi-million-dollar mansions. They live lives that only a few in the world can even dream of. And yet, what's the first thing they do? They disparage the very country. They pee on the very country and the people that put them there. Every single one of them should be thanking God, thanking America, thanking their fans. They should look at their fans and go, you know what? It's because of you guys. It's because of you guys that I am here. And this is part of the reason why I will always try to remember the people like my Whiskey Warrior P1s, like my family, who have brought me to this position that I'm in, that come back every single week. You give up so much time and energy in your day to come here and see me. I will never, as long as I live, I will never disparage any of you. I will certainly never disparage the fact that the country that I live gives me the opportunity to do this. This is what we're missing today, folks. This is what we're missing in today's society. Everybody who is here, these idiots who are over in the Olympics, who are picking and choosing and arguing against, all of the wonderful things that's going on in America, and I'm just going to highlight the other crap. I'm going to highlight the crap that I think is bad. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, every single one of these people who do this, they all need a reality check. Every single one of them. Sitting there telling people like, John Leguizamo as an example. You know what? If you voted for Trump, I don't want you going to my movies anymore. I don't want you watching my movies. I don't need you. Or you can just, pink. If you're a Trump supporter, don't buy my songs. Who the F cares? I certainly don't. I'm not necessarily a John Leguizamo fan. I'm not necessarily a Pink fan. But see, every single one of these athletes and every single one of these elite Hollywood types, they all seem to think that because, you know what? I have an adoring fan base, and all of my fans, they've got to think exactly like me. And by the way, America is just this racist, sexist, misogynist, whatever the word of the day is. I don't care. I am an American. And I'm going to love America, regardless of what anybody seems to think, because America is greater than her faults. America has done so much good in this world, folks. Yeah, we have our blemishes. But that happens because America, as great as she is not perfect. But that's fine. And I'm certainly not going to sit here. And say and tell you that, no, I hate America. I hate America. Especially if I'm making money off of America. Or getting the opportunity that I never would have had I not been in America. See, Hunter Hess, his quote is, if it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. You know what? He should have just kept his mouth shut. And he should have just said, hey, I'm here representing America in downhill skiing or whatever it is. Whatever it was that he, whatever his sport is. And again, if you're a superstar of some caliber or whatever, you should be thanking America for the money that you are making. You should be thanking America for everything that's going on. See, this is part of the reason why I have a lot of respect for some people, for an example, like Gabriel Iglesias. Now, Gabriel Iglesias, as a comedian, the reason why I like him is, number one, he doesn't necessarily bring politics into his shows, at least not as a headline. He has talked politics in the past, but he doesn't bring it in as like a headline thing. And not only that, but he also makes sure that he tells every single one of his fans, he's like, look, You guys are the ones that have made my life incredible. I have a lot of respect for people who do that. I have a lot of respect when you, as a high up or famous individual or whatever, you sit there and you say, hey, look, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everybody who wanted to come and see me perform. Same thing goes with like Bill Engvall or Jeff Foxworthy or any of these others that are out there. I mean, even Jeff Dunham. Jeff Dunham's kind of in the same boat. I have a lot of respect for people who are like that, who recognize the fact that, hey, my fans are the ones that are driving all of this. Anyway, these people are just, yeah. I can't even imagine. I would not be able to. I would not be able to live with myself if I were representing my country and basically said, "Hey, look, pee on all of it." I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Like you live in the country that has the greatest opportunities of all of the Western world and all of Earth. You can be anything that you want to be if you want to push. You want to work hard at it, you can achieve it here in America. There is nothing that you cannot achieve here in America. And you're sitting here and you're like, you are living an incredible life. You are living an incredible life because of the fact that you are here in America. You could be the most talented person in the world. You could be the most talented singer in the world and live someplace outside of America. Your chances of being discovered is like less than the 0.0 or 0.0000000000001. Seriously, your chances are extremely low anywhere in the world outside of America. But if you live in America, you have just probably doubled, tripled, tenfolded, even 100 times folded your chances of being discovered and being considered one of the greats and becoming famous. I mean, look at us. Look at America. Where else in the world do you have a actual quote unquote job called an influencer? I mean, I don't understand this. You can go, I mean, look at us. Look at us. Here in America, you can put yourself online like I'm doing right here, reach out to the rest of the world, and if you're lucky enough, you might become famous. Look at Mr. Beast. Oh my gosh. That man has got, I mean, he is like, I don't know if he's a multimillionaire, but he's all kinds of, he's got all kinds of money, all kinds of followers and everything else. You can't do that in Uganda. Sure as hell can't do it in Russia. I don't see very many Russians running around. I don't see very many Cubans running around. I certainly don't see any South Americans running around and becoming, no, you're here in America. You're here in America. And you have opportunities that most, if not a vast majority of the world would kill for. And you're sitting here and you're telling me that you're going to go up onto the world stage. You're going to go up onto the world stage and you're going to disparage the very country that you are wearing the colors of. You're a complete, utter, stupid moron. And I don't really care whether you agree with what's going on here. You're there to do a job. It's no different than the entertainment world. You're there to do your job. Your job is to entertain. In terms of these athletes, your job is to perform in a sport. The rest of it makes no difference. None of it. When I go into work, I'm there to do my job. I'm not there to pundit about politics or news or anything else. I'm there to do my job, whatever that job happens to be. When I'm here, I am here to pundit about politics, news, current events. But that's how things work around here. I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you that I'm something that I'm not. So why is it that you people who go, you're the amateur champions of your sport, you go over to these other countries and get on the world stage, and the first thing that you do is you say, well, I'm going to talk about immigration and customs enforcement. Why? Why? There's no reason. That topic shouldn't have even come up. And again, if the reporter starts asking it, just say, you know what? I'm here to ski. That other stuff is for some political show. Just, end of story. Just don't even take the question. Now, I will have to admit, in the final moments here, when I saw the Seattle Seahawks, let me explain why the Seattle Seahawks are I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for the team because the one thing that they did when they got up on that podium, they congratulated, or they showed appreciation for 3 entities. One, and not in any order. This is not in any particular order. One, their teammates. Because whether people believe it or not, football is not an individual sport. The entire team is there. So number 1 was their teammates. Number 2 is God. Because God gave them the opportunity to have the skill set, to have the abilities that they did in order to be able to play and to bring them to that level, to be able to bring them into the arena. And 3, every single one thanked their fans. The fans are known as the 12s. And every single one of them said, thank you to the 12s. Because whether you know it or not, folks, those 12s, those athletes, if they did not have the fans to pay for the tickets, to sit in the stands, to buy the gear, to fund the entire organization, they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't be there. And I have a lot of respect for when people do that. All right, that is it for me for this evening. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. It's free. And once you are signed up and signed in, make sure that you search up the American Perspective channel and hit that green follow button to get notified. When I go live. Also, don't forget to give me your thumbs up, thumbs downs, or thumbs sideways across all my platforms, whether it's X, YouTube, Facebook, or, of course, the aforementioned Rumble. We will see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on American Perspective. Have a great rest of your evening, and good night, everybody.